What's going on, guys? Gamer Dude back once again, bringing you some more informative gaming news. But before we begin, you all know the routine, or at least I hope you do by now. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Now then, we have some disappointing news regarding Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and its future content. Yes, as you can tell from the title, the new content for Spider-Man 2 has been delayed to 2024. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down what this means, everything still coming from now until then, if there's anything coming from now until then, and why Insomniac have chosen to do this. So let's get on with it. So as you may or may not know by now, Insomniac Games has announced that it will be delaying upcoming features for Marvel Spider-Man 2, such as the New Game Plus and audio descriptions and changing the time of day and things until 2024. Insomniac quoted this and said, "We have been working vigilantly on these features and require more testing to ensure the quality is up to our standards," Insomniac said in a statement. You see, now, to me, what this actually tells me is, and you're probably going to laugh at me for saying this, but what this actually tells me is that it's coming up to the holidays. It's coming up to Christmas. And while I don't deny or contest that they weren't working their hardest to get this done, I think they've just run out of time before the holiday break. So it's a bad case of, right, it's the holiday break. Now, we want our time off. We've run out of time, so let's just leave it for now. We'll finish working on it when we come back in January, and then hopefully we can have it out by February or the end of February. That's what I'm thinking. That the holidays are here. They just want to go home. They don't want to do any more work over the holidays. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, they also said that they are now targeting a 2024 release for the next game update, and they'll have a feature complete list closer to its release, so that's possibly a roadmap. They also said, "We've heard your feedback and we'll be adding some highly requested features, including the ability to change the time of day, swap symbiote suit tendril colors." Excellent, because when you've got the anti-venom suit at the end, even if you're wearing the Raimi black suit or just the symbiote black suit, your tendrils are white. So yeah, it kind of defeats the illusion. They're also going to be adding the ability to replay missions, and that is just to name a few. Now, when Spider-Man was released in October for the PS5, it sold a staggering 2.5 million copies in its first 24 hours. And yet it won nothing at the Game Awards this year, but we'll gloss over that. Just pretend that didn't happen. Pretend Baldur's Gate 3 and Alan Wake 2 didn't beat it out for absolutely everything. Move on, Gamer Dude. Move on. It's done. Spider-Man didn't win anything. Move on. Now then, the addition of the New Game Plus and Daytime Change features were originally supposed to release before the end of this year. But yes, of course, we will have to wait a bit longer. But at least it's still coming. They haven't said, "Oh no, we're not doing it now. We're just going to focus on DLC or the next half game. We're not doing it at all now." So yeah, at least they are actually going to do it. Insomniac's next big project is, of course, The Wolverine, which has been confirmed to take place in the same universe as Spider-Man. So potential cameos for future games are just way out there. And there is actually a reference to the X-Mansion in Spider-Man 2. If you go out to Brooklyn or somewhere in Queens, there is a mansion that will look very familiar. Although it is rather dilapidated, it's covered in graffiti, so I wonder what happened. Anyway, moving on. In GameSpot's Marvel Spider-Man 2 review, they said, "The story's exploration of loneliness is fantastic, creating gripping new narratives for the two heroes, Peter and Miles, as well as the two main villains, Kraven and Venom. Spider-Man 2 unites all four characters in a riveting narrative through line you'll want to see all the way through, and has the gameplay hooks to keep you engaged for the whole ride. I would agree with that. But the fact that they've delayed it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be crap. You know, just because they've delayed it doesn't mean it's going to be crap, and it doesn't mean that it's going to be all that's coming. Because if it's anything to go off from the first Spider-Man game, we got 3 DLCs for that. So we can expect a similar trend to go through this. I mean, it would stand to reason that it would. I mean, God of War Ragnarok, for God's sake, just got New Game Plus and a DLC, and you wouldn't really have expected that, would you? No, I didn't expect that. So, yeah. But yeah, all they've said is the fact that it won't arrive until sometime next year, and they've just said that they need more testing time to reach their quality standards, which, fair enough to them. You know, Insomniac have proved they can do something and do it well. Sure, the game releases with bugs, but what game doesn't these days? But the point is, Insomniac have proved they can release a fantastically beautiful product and release it well, especially a superhero one. So I reiterate once again, other developers need to stop making superhero games because they fail. Marvel's Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, you see where I'm going with this. Just let Insomniac take the reins. Give it to Insomniac. I know Insomniac is a Sony-owned company, and that may present a problem of exclusivity, but just let Insomniac do it. You know, it may come sometime later, but even though it's a Sony-owned company, they might be like, okay, well, we've been doing this for a while with Sony. It was specifically on Sony, so let's let the other players have a chance. You know, let's release it on Xbox. Let's release it on the PC. Although Spider-Man 2 will probably come to PC later, but you see what I'm saying. But after going home with their hands empty at the Game Awards, in spite of being nominated for multiple categories, including the actual Game of the Year itself, it is kind of disappointing that Spider-Man 2 didn't win any statuettes. And with this delay coming, it could be their way of just, you know, like kicking everyone in the nuts. Like, well, we made this game, it was fantastic, it sold more copies on its first day than anything has in the past year, so we're just going to kick you in the nuts by delaying everything you want. But my prediction is that it will release for the beginning of 2024. Sometime mid-January or the end of January, possibly the start of February. That's my prediction anyway. But yeah, there's plenty of things to do in Spider-Man 2 until then. You know, even without New Game Plus, you can still start again with nothing. And sometimes in a game like Spider-Man, that is actually quite fun. You know, even if you've 100%ed it before, got the Platinum Trophy, it's still fun to start again with nothing. Because part of the fun is building up the character, leveling up, actually seeing if you can get to a certain point without leveling up, or leveling up to the fastest level as early as possible and just obliterating everything in sight. And of course, completing it once unlocks a newer difficulty, so play it on the newer difficulty. I certainly have. I'm having a very difficult time defeating Venom, I must say. The first time I did it, no problem. But this time I'm doing it on the hardest difficulty. I'm having such a difficult time doing it. So just keep yourself occupied. Play through it again. I don't know, swing around for a little bit. If you haven't got the Platinum Trophy, go for the Platinum Trophy. It is an easy Platinum, to be fair. Come on, anybody can get it. A 4-year-old could get it. Go for the Platinum Trophy if you haven't already. But I think that's just about all I could find regarding this. That's basically all they've said. That, oh yeah, we've run out of time. We're just gonna keep developing it till it meets our standards. But with them also working on Wolverine, which does not yet have a release date, but we can expect it sometime next year. But then again, on the other hand, Arcane Studios, creators of Dishonored 2, which is actually a Microsoft-owned company, are making Marvel's Blade. So will that be exclusive to Xbox, or will that come to PlayStation as well? That's a video for another day. But I do hope it's not exclusive, because I've played every single Marvel game going back to the Game Boy days. And I would be really disappointed if they chose to make this Blade game exclusive to Xbox. I'm sorry, but I don't like Xbox. I don't play Xbox. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to call it there before I turn this into a video about Marvel's Blade. So thank you all for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Once again, you all know the routine. If you aren't new to the channel, please make sure you smash that like button and drop me a subscribe, because it would just be your good deed of the day. Same applies if you are a returning viewer. Stay tuned for future content. Of course, there's plenty coming from me. And that being said then, this has been Gamer Dude. Happy gaming, and I will catch you all in the next one, guys.